Monsters Incorporated Storybook Collection. Gettin' Groovy. One night, Mike Wazowski and his best friend Sully were headed home from work. As soon as they walked through Monstropolis, they saw a large banner. "Join us for the first ever Monster Dance Talent Show," Sully read aloud, "this Saturday." Mike squinted his eye. "Saturday?" He clapped his hands. "All right, this will be fun." Mike," Sully said, "you realize that being in the talent show means you'll have to..." He trailed off. Sully wasn't sure if his best buddy knew how to dance. "Have to what?" Wait a minute. "Have to what?" Mike asked impatiently. "Sully, what are you trying to say?" "Well, you'll have to dance." Mike whirled around and put his hands out in a ta-da pose. "That's what I'm going to do," he grinned. "Dance away with the grand prize." "Googly Bear, wait up!" Mike's girlfriend Celia called as she ran toward them. "I have fantastic news. I'm going to do a tap routine at the talent show." "Oh, yeah," Mike said as Celia showed them one of her tap moves. "Monstropolis's best dance teacher has to perform." Celia taught tap dancing twice a week at Monster Studios. All of her students loved her. "I can't wait to see you," Mike continued, "and wait till you see me on stage." "But Googly Bear, do you know how to dance?" Celia asked. "Of course I do," Mike said. "I boogie all the time." He wiggled his hips to prove it. "I think what Celia is trying to say, buddy," said Sully, "is that you need to know a specific type of dance to be in the show." "Don't worry," Mike told them. "I've got a plan." Sully raised an eyebrow. "A plan?" "I'm going to take lessons this week at Monster Studios. And Sully, you're going to join me." Sully wasn't sure about Mike's plan. He found himself at the dance studio the next day anyway. "I thought we'd start with ballet first," Celia said. She gave them tights and slippers. Then they went to a ballet classroom. "Just follow the teacher," she whispered. Mike groaned as he bent his knees. "These tights are so... tight." "Try to keep up, buddy," Sully said. The teacher clapped her hands. Are you ready, class? First, we jette. Then, we leap." Mike and Sully looked at each other. They didn't know how to jette, but they sure could leap. They took a running start and leaped across the room, but they had run so fast they couldn't stop. Crash! They went right through the wall. Tutus flew everywhere, and the wall had a Sully-shaped hole in it. Oh dear. "Well, ballet is definitely out," Celia said. "Let's try tap." She pointed to a rack with shiny shoes. "Put these on and we'll get started." "This is great!" Mike exclaimed. He stood up, took 2 steps, and then slid across the floor. "Whoa!" "Careful, Googly Bear," Celia cried. Sully tapped his foot. "Hey, I've got rhythm." "And I've got the slips," Mike said, falling again. Celia took a deep breath. "Well, there's a hip-hop class going on down the hall," she said. "Maybe that will work." Mike and Sully put on caps and high-top sneakers. They started moving to the booming music. When everyone spun to the left, Mike spun right. If the other monster's arms were up, Mike's were down. He finished with a backflip and landed on his back. Whap! Ouch. There are so many kinds of dances, Mike said as they sat down on a bench in the hall. And so many kinds of shoes, Sully added. He rubbed his sore, furry feet. Well, I've got to learn one for the contest, Mike said glumly, but none of them feels right. Sully and Celia both nodded. They wanted to help their friend, but they weren't sure how. What class is that? Mike asked. He swayed to the beat of the music. I love that song. Mike and Sully peered into the room. It was a disco class. A white suit and platform shoes were by the door. And this outfit is just my style, he said as he put it on. Let's go boogie! I think he's found his dance, Sully said as he watched his friend. It's disco, and he's got some moves. How do I look? How do I look? Mike asked his friends as he spun. Celia grinned. You're a dancing fiend, she said. Mike rolled his hands up and down. Oh, I knew I had the moves. Plus, this is my kind of music. He pretended to hold a microphone in his hand. Oogie woogie scoogie, do the monster boogie. For the next week, Mike and Sully went to Monster Studios every day to practice. Sully, you have rhythm, Celia said as she watched him tap dance one afternoon. Maybe you can dance together, Mike suggested. Double the tapping fun. That's a great idea, Celia exclaimed. Sully, would you be my partner in the talent show? Gee, Celia, Sully said. I'd be honored. All right, exclaimed Mike. This Saturday's show is going to be the best show ever. Soon, Saturday came. The theater was packed with monsters. As the lights dimmed, a three-eyed ballerina took the stage. She began dancing a piece from Swamp Lake. Her tutu was made of long, colorful feathers that fanned out when she twirled. Mike peeked through the curtain to watch. Wow, he said, she's really good. He looked at his friends. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? He whispered. You're up next. After the ballerina was done, Sully and Celia stepped out. They were wearing matching top hats, sequined vests, and bow ties. The jazz song, Screaming for You, began playing. Celia and Sully tapped out the rhythm with their shiny black shoes. Click, clack, clickety-clack, click, clack, clickety-clack. Sully tossed his hat in the air and caught it on his cane while Celia finished with a spin. The audience loved them. As his friends bowed, Mike knew it was his turn. He walked to center stage and closed his eye. A spotlight focused on him, and the music started. First, he bounced his knee. Then, he bobbed his head. Suddenly, Do the Monster Boogie came on, and a giant disco ball lit up. Mike struck a pose. The audience went wild. They clapped along to the music and cheered him on. Mike grinned. He turned, he kicked, he shuffled his feet, and he rolled his arms. He was having a great time. Everyone wanted to join in. Come on, everyone, Mike said. Get up and dance. Soon, all the monsters in the theater were lined up in the aisles, clapping and grooving to the music. It was a giant disco party. The talent show had never been so much fun. Mike waved for Celia and Sully to join him on stage. He wanted to share this moment with his friends. He spun Celia around and ended with a grand dip. The crowd went wild. The Monster Dance talent show had been a success. The three-eyed ballerina took the top prize, but all of Mike's friends said he was the most enthusiastic dancer they had ever seen. And to him, that was just groovy. If you were in a talent show, what would you do? Let me know in the comments below. See you later. Bye.